What is going on, guys? Today we are going to it's the first day of Gran Colo and also the first day of not seeing your opponent's data. I personally think that it's a good function, but it's hard, especially when you're the one who creates strategies for your own team, since planning does not work anymore in this kind of function in the game. So as you can see, Memories is our opponent for tonight, and they get some pretty good stats, especially that 60k M attack. Oh, so they are 14 and we are 15, so we are definitely have an advantage over this one. But still, I don't know what is going to be the outcome for this game. And looks like they lack a cleric. Or is it? I think so. So the Shimna for this battle is going to be Instrument, Hammer, Bow first. Then the next one will be Instrument, Sword, Pole, Arm, which is a very important battle to be won, since sometimes it dictates the game, although it doesn't mean that if you lose it, you won't win the game at all. But it's a huge advantage every time you win one. Oh, so they changed one. Also, there's a funny bug that staff users or clerics don't show up. Rather, it shows that they are using orbs instead. But I think that's going to be fixed later. So my current build, I switched to my gunner build so that I can help for the first Shimna skirmish. I will change gear sets later. So let's go. So what do you guys think for this? I think I will continue this commentary every Gran Colo and post, since it's a very important week every month, and it occurs only once per month, 1 week per month. So for those who do not know much for the game, it's important that you have the same weapons to be used, even if you can use other physical weapons. Oh, and it's the connection. I don't know if it's connection or is it the game itself. But yeah, now I'm starting to roll. So we first summoned Rikone, the 90s Fox. It boosts the fire affinity weapons, so not just for vanguards but for rearguards as well. So it's very important for us to usually the meta for this is this, but in order to get an instant edge on the enemy guild, but for us it's very important to contain the buffs created by the enemy. Oh, they summoned Yuno. Oh, but it's a bit late. There's the Rikone or other similar nightmares have a 30% boost, I think. Then the disadvantage of it was 15%. So technically, by summoning you double it up. But hopefully, we'll manage through. So my bow grid is not the best. It actually has a very low skill level, mostly level 1 Colosseum skill levels and Colosseum support. Yeah, I think that it's around 17 minutes that they are that the first shipment skirmish will come. Oh, you say that you should get back. Oh, so they really lack cleric. That's one. Lots of. I option for blue poppy since I think, if I remember correctly, we can get more defensive, and it's a two-way type. Since most, especially for me, but not in my bow grid, but my pole arm grid, my half nightmare Alice grid. It has around 14 Dauntless Courage support skills, which is pretty useful when it comes to getting more damage and more knockouts. Guildmaster is suggesting Ojo. I think I agree with that, so that we could get an initial advantage since we know that they lack cleric, so they lack heal, which audio massively reduces the heal rate of the enemy. And also they summoned Yuno, so predicting something that their healers use mostly water staves is important, so probably not, but I think they do. So when you win an instrument stream, they usually do not attack already, or do not attack instantly, but rather have yourself wait for at least 40 seconds in order to buff yourself into the max. And we're currently winning 57 to 22. I hope we get one in here. Yeah, I think we're going to get one here. Oh, fudge. It's fine. The buffs are gone. Well, it's fine. Let's see the situation next. So, for those of you that are new for the game, buffs are when your whole team gets wiped out. If you have good buffs, it doesn't get removed. But if you have negative buffs, or you are thoroughly debuffed, which is symbolized by the blue, it clears, just like what you see there. The Uriel has 12 M attack buffs, which is quite, it's fine since he's not using H&M build, and he is a pretty solid weapon user. Solid means you use other weapons that is not your specialty. So for example, as you can see there, I'm using my bow grid. I may use hammer or blade or pole arm with it, but it decreases the efficiency of the damage rate that you can create. Also, half nightmare classes provide 35% boost. So I'm going to change here now my stronger grid. Oh, so Lind, True Lind, their buffs affinity is wind of 20. It's quite a lot. 20p attack. And I also only have one plus one buff. It's a pity, but it's alright. Yeah, so the reason why I'm going to do Ugalu is to contain their attacks, since most tomes are tomes that are anti, although it's mixed, depends on the guild, depends on the person, but usually it's fire tomes that contains the attack. So they have three H&M half nightmare builds. Pretty thick, you know. The freeze golem part was good because it's a defensive rather than a two-way, although sometimes it can be a two-way since most of the vanguards use water affinity, but mostly clerics use water affinity, so it helps us not to get wiped out at all. I would also option Crow, although we don't have that at the moment, since it's pretty helpful when it comes to these kinds of situations to contain their attack. It's a pretty dangerous half nightmare. 12, 10. So their buffs are, there are two types of buffs that if you are Vanguard you will always be able to observe, although it depends on the total power of the sorcerer or the minstrel that your guild has. But there are buffs called solid buffs, wherein it stays no matter how strong your sorcerer is. But there are also spike buffs, which it will go up. It might go up to 20, but it might also mean that it's not much of a long-term support. It's more of a short-term support. Let's see what they will do here. Ooh. Yikes. So I got some pretty high P attack, although I won't be able to use it. That's sad. In this game, it's pretty complication is a pretty important factor, since you can coordinate different things in situations. Although there are meta strategies that occurs in various games, it's pretty important to be flexible, since this is like a chess match, and actually it's more of a shogi match, since you have to repeatedly adjust to the situation at hand. 2 minutes before the next stream is finished. I did ask. Wonder what happened. Oh. So, seeing the buffs now, since we are thoroughly debuffed, I think we are all. So there are two scenarios that may have happened earlier while I'm in purification. First one is that they switch to sorcerer build, though I think they will not do that. Or second, we all accidentally go to purification at the same time, which is sometimes inevitable. Oh, they use Oh, they used Defiant Roar already at the 8th minute. It's a bit risky tactic rather, since what if it doesn't work? Although they have decent attack buffs, but Defiant Roar can do only so much. So since they almost the advantage part is so small, so it's important to get a ship here and another ship. Usually when the enemy's attack is contained, it comes down to the number of huge ships that is taken down. But as you can see, even if we almost had 4, I think last time I checked, I think it was 4:1. Just by using that one guild ship, the enemy almost caught up with us. So this is a pretty thrilling game, since 60M attack half nightmare enemy is pretty scary. Oh, that armored giant summon is pretty great, since they use 4 M attack users. So Armor Giant decreases the effectiveness of pole arm and bows, which is what we need right now. Although I would suggest that Luge or Kokoro would be good as well. Red Rose, not much. So here comes the storm. Just a tip, guys. No, so for those that are playing the game, there's a certain change in tone, change in music when it is near. Usually, it's a 10 to 20 second change of music. But sometimes, if you are too immersed in the game, you won't be able to see it. Also, it's nice that we got away with Mao. Mao Archalon. People call it as a turtle, but it's actually a spider, like a giant spider, a mountain of spider, like something like that. For the 129 is a good gap, although oh, alright, so they have spike buffs. Personally, even if sometimes I plan for the matches, I don't know what to do when you are in the advantage side. I only know what to do when you are in the middle of the pack, or you have a bit of a disadvantage over the enemy. Oh fudge! Not this time. Come on, seriously. Okay, so we won the second skirmish. So usually the option for that is 30 seconds. Since through 30 seconds you can do it. Endgame skirmishes like this are pretty difficult to handle, since, like you see, the end game skirmish like this lasted around 3 minutes. So we just need to survive this round. You get some good buffs as well. Good defensive buffs. Yeah. Although one of the common things that you will observe on everyday players of this game is that it's rare to see someone or a player that has a higher MDef rather than PDef. I lost count on the amount of guild ships that is being taken down. So the reason why we summoned it's because it's a like the freeze golem earlier. It's a pretty much defensive stance, but it also boosts our offensive weapons. But yeah, it protects us from getting wiped out. Fudge. Oh, so these try us. Can it come back? Try us? Let's see. So they have, there's a 1 minute 10 seconds left on the match. Just last for more 30 seconds. 30 seconds. We have good. Oh, oof. Oh no. Oh, took us 5 seconds. So we have this experience around last month's Gran Colo. We are on the lead, but they used Barbarian, which also is defined or good at playing. But at that time we lost because we got overconfident that we're going to defend through this. So let's wait for the stats. Well, I wish to see the stats. I wish to see how effective my two builds are, although my buffs aren't that great. Okay, there it is. Oh, so how? How did I still get #1 in combo? My life force, it would be higher if I started the game with my Half Nightmare Alice build or Bipolar build, since it's my stronger greed. But yeah, since I started with the Gunner Snow, it's pretty hard to accumulate damage, especially if they focus on you. Wow. So thank you guys for watching. Tomorrow I will post the second day of Gran Colo, and I hope that you enjoy this video, and I hope that we get a good matchup also tomorrow or later at the night for other places. Thank you guys. See you again.